Hey, I just wanted to make a real quick video about two things. I wanted to touch on the unfortunate Paqui One Chip challenge fatality, and then a quick update on my surgery. First of all, the death. I prepared an advanced visualization for this because I give so little of a shit about this video and its quality. I prepared this to make my point. So we're going to have, everyone will or should have two thoughts when talking about this. Sympathy and sorrow for the family. This was a 14-year-old kid. He was in school doing a rite of passage, showing what a tough guy he was to his peer group. I'm sure he wasn't the only person to do this challenge. Or if he was, you know, it's something kids do. Kids show off. Kids dare themselves to do perceived dangerous things. And it's normal and it's fine. It was fun to him. He thought he was doing something fun, and it's entirely possible that the hottest thing this kid had ever eaten before is a flamin' hot Cheeto. Okay, and now I haven't even done the Paqui Chip challenge, but I have eaten a peanut from the tube of terror, and Johnny Scoville's tube of terror, and that's bad. Overwhelming, a several minute long agony, but I'm a grown man, and I had eaten hotter things, well, not hotter than that, but I had eaten lots of hot things before, and not as much as some people, but you know, I'd eaten a habanero, and it caused a lot of pain, you know. So there should be, you know, the family is devastated. I have no doubt that they're devastated and angry. Justifiably so, you know, or at least understandably so. It's rational if someone eats something and then dies 2 hours later or several hours later and they're otherwise healthy. Anyone, I don't care if you're a chili head. If you think you have the Socratic, or you know, the wisdom and the logical head to think you wouldn't be struggling at least not to blame the maker of that food product, you're a fool. So it's understandable, and I extend my condolences and my sorrow to that young man and his family. It's a tragic thing. A 14-year-old kid. Now, number 2 on the chart, here's the second thread of thought running, probably, well, more likely this. Most people will have this, but I know there's dirtbags. This is the second thought that everyone will have, and it's split up into, you know, A or B. you're either going to be on side A or side B, or some moderated place in the middle. A is the chip is deadly. Ban them. Or regulate it. Regulate the amount of capsaicin you can put in a product. Or capsaicin is harmless. It can't kill you. It has no, it's not a toxic substance in any way that is understood to be toxic. Water is toxic if you take too much of it. There's an LD50 for almost every substance on the fucking planet. But, and that is true. That is true. Capsaicin is harmless in any amount. Capsaicin itself is harmless. Now, I've read some literature, and it might be hypothetical, but it has been known to happen. Other ingredients have caused these kinds of things. Or certain things that most people can do that others can't. I don't know if this could have had a underlying heart condition, undiagnosed, or even diagnosed, but didn't understand. Like I said, the hottest thing, he could have been used to flaming hot Cheetos and didn't understand the physiological stress that a high amount of capsaicin can bring when you're not prepared for it. It's a mental, some of shock, it seems like, is mental. There's a feedback loop in the body, and the brain has a huge part to play in that feedback loop, in the physiological changes and how it deals with stress. Multiple people have in time, throughout history, died of heart attacks on roller coasters, and those people have had heart conditions. Now, of course, we don't ban roller coasters. We don't sign it. We don't. I shouldn't say we don't make people sign medical forms. I don't. Certainly not at the fucking county fair. We don't. If you go to Disney, you might sign something before you can get in about liability. But who knows? No one is calling for the shutdown of roller coasters. But people have died because the intense amount of stress that they induce can, cause a weakened heart, or a sensitive person. People have different sensitivities to have a heart attack and die. Another thing is shock. Hypovolemic shock is when is loss of lack of blood volume, and it can be caused by excessive vomiting or diarrhea. This kid could have had such a monumentally negative reaction to this stuff that he puked himself to death. I've also heard of ruptures in the esophagus from excessive violent vomiting. Now, we don't know the facts at this point. I heard it reported, this happened a couple of days ago or whatever, that he complained of a stomach ache. Now, heart attacks can radiate to the back, to the arms, legs, I think probably the abdomen, who knows. A ruptured esophagus can cause, can cause havoc. It wasn't the capsaicin. We know that for sure. But to say that he was going to die that day, whether he ate that chip or not, is going to be ridiculous to the family and hold up not in court. And should be ridiculous to most people. At the same time, I understand all the people saying that chip did not kill him. No, the chip didn't kill him. The roller coaster didn't kill anyone. It was the stress from being on the roller coaster. And we understand that, and we urge people who have medical conditions not to take roller coasters. I have a note here. But yeah, this is the main thing. This is why I made this video. This is the main point I wanted to make, and did I break it? Kinda, by focusing much more on the debate. I focused much more on number 2 than number 1, which, what can you do? There's no amount of words that I can do to help this family. I am more personally, mentally interested in this. But my point is, this should be the order. This should be the order for everyone. This should be the main sentiment. And it's totally okay to comment on this, but this should be the first thing in everyone's mind, because the family don't give a shit. But this is obviously going to be debated and should be debated, because the chip did not kill that kid, and obviously should not be banned, but we live in a nanny state, or year by year, the nanny state of protecting everyone just gets worse and worse and worse. More science good, right? More, the statisticians can put something together to make butterflies look fucking harmful. So I'm sure there will be calls for that. Don't blame the family for calling for that. Don't blame them. What are you going to do? Argue with this fucking family? Argue with the policymakers. Johnny Scoville made a good video, and I know, he's the head evangelist for capsaicin. There are a lot of hot sauce and pepper priests, but he is the head pope of capsaicin. He made a very good video, and he obviously made a heartfelt sentiment of condolences to the family, and that was the proper thing to do. But I know he's going to have, he made a short video. It was like 3 or 4 minutes long. But I'm sure he will have more to say. I'm sure the whole pepper community, the extreme pepper community, the chili heads will have a lot to say about this. And I just fear that this will, it's going to happen. What can you do? But just make sure you remember this part, I guess. That's what I'm saying. And smoking Essie, big ass smoking Essie, my good friend, also made a video, and he was very reasonable, and I think he said some of the same things I did. I think he took a very reasoned approach to it. And he said the same thing, that I think the chip did not kill this kid. Well, it's hard to, capsaicin did not kill this kid. And it can't, what are you going to do? Ban everything that kills someone somewhere? But I don't blame the family is going to sue. And I hope that either because of whatever lawsuit is coming, or regardless, I just pray for an autopsy, because the level of medical science is so good these days that I would be extremely shocked to find that the cause of death was not found. They will know. Was it a heart attack? They can tell these things so easily from chemicals in the blood and the state of the heart. Was it hypovolemic shock? Was it massive? We don't know. And I know people are going to endlessly debate and argue and advocate, but we don't know. And it's good to wait. I will be very interested to see the results of the autopsy. So that's all I had to say about that. Real quick update on my surgery. I finally had my lung bronchoscopy today. Went fine. They biopsied the lump, and I should know more in about 3 days, but I feel fine. They told me not to drink any alcohol for 24 hours, so cheers. That's it. Bye.